Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, as you could see, mainly because of the fact that I'm going to be doing a sit-down video today because we're going to be talking about my uni experience this far. As you can see, I have my laptop open in front of me because I will be reading off of her. And for those of you who have been here for a while, you know that I love me some chai tea or some green tea, but tonight I have chai tea with me. Guys, it's so cold. Like, it's 11 degrees right now, which isn't even the worst of it. That's probably the best temperature we've had in a while. I am filming you on my iPad, as you could tell, because I am recording this audio from my phone. You're literally on the other side of my room right now, and low-key, I set you up in front of my mirror. Ooh, I might actually be the best creative director alive right now. So I have a mirror behind you. Showing me my iPad screen, so I can basically see if I'm in frame, and obviously I can't see that far because my eyesight is not that great, but I can literally see myself, so I know I'm in frame and that I don't look weird. Anyways, guys, so this video is going to be me speaking about my uni experience so far. I will not be getting into detail about what I'm studying or where I'm studying, but I will let you know that I am in first year, and this is like my second semester, I guess you could kind of call it. I call it terms because, throughout high school, we used to call it term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and I still have 4 quadrants, so I'm still going to call it term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. So that whole semester thing, I really could not care less for it. Could not care? I don't really know. I don't care for it, basically. I'm not going to be using that. So if I say term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, you know exactly what I'm referring to because I have 4 quadrants, like high school. So I'm going to say term 2 or term 1. Anyways, so this is my second term. We're already halfway through the year, which is so crazy to me. Because, guys, I literally just started. What do you mean I'm already halfway through first year? What do you mean I'm already almost 1/3 done with my degree? It's a little bit crazy to say out loud, to say the least, but it's a very exciting, very, very, very exciting, I don't know. I've been talking a lot of positivity into myself recently, and you might pick up on that in this video, and I hope it's contagious. I don't know, this feels so weird. I'm literally looking at myself in this mirror right now. All the times that I've filmed on a back camera on my iPad, I've never been able to see what I'm looking at unless obviously, I was the one behind the camera. So it's so cool to actually see what it looks like. Anyway, so let's get into it. I will put timestamps or chapters, I think YouTube calls it. So if you want to jump and skip to the parts that interest you the most, then you most definitely will be able to do that. Editing me, remember to do that though, because if I don't remember to do that, that will be very detrimental. Anyway, so we're going to start off with speaking about academics. I'm going to move my laptop closer. Give me 2 seconds. Like I said, I am severely blind, so I have to zoom things in 16 times in order for me to see. Anyway, so we're going to start off with academics. I have about, I think, 4 categories. It's academics, social life, mental health, and reflections. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. This has already been going for 6 minutes, so you can imagine. And I'm quite the yapster. Guys, I talk. So if you're here, it's because you like the fact that I talk. So hopefully you enjoy this. Let's get into it. So academics, right? I'm like a 50-50 when it comes to talking about academics. Part of me thinks it's a joke, and part of me thinks it's not a joke. And let me elaborate, okay? Let me explain further on what I mean by that. I just want to take a deep dive into this really quickly. So when it comes to academics, the reason why I say it's half and half is because, well, for me personally, okay, I'm going to use term 1 as an example because this is when I've already completed it. I can use this one that I'm currently in as an example as well, but whatever. So actually, yes, let's use the one I'm currently in as an example, right? So I've got 3 modules per term. This term in particular, I have the most useless ones ever. I mean, guys, I'm literally doing computer skills. Computer skills. I did this in grade 4, grade 3. I cannot believe I'm revisiting doing computer skills in university and having to pay for it. It's so crazy to me. Like, I mean, I know they tell us it's required in the corporate world and the world in general, that like you need to know how to use a computer, but it's kind of crazy when you consider the fact that I don't even use the apps that they're teaching us how to use. Like, for example, we have to learn how to use PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Excel. I can promise you right now, I will never, ever, ever use those things. I don't even use them right now. If you ask me to make a presentation, I'm not opening PowerPoints. And if you do open PowerPoint, props to you, because I could not for the life of me care to open PowerPoint. If I need to type a document, I'm not opening Microsoft Word. I'm just not. I'm not opening Microsoft Word. And I've never been put in a situation where I needed to use Excel, and I will never put myself in a position where I have to use Microsoft Excel. So do with that information what you will. Anyways, so we have 3 modules every term, and, or as of right now, let me not generalize it. I think that's just, I don't know. I have 3 modules as of right now. I haven't picked up a book in 6 weeks. I'm writing exams in 2 weeks. I haven't picked up a single book for a single one of my modules since this term started. And that's mainly because my subjects this term are very, very boring, and also very self-explanatory, except one of them. But that one's more just procrastination than anything. But to be completely frank with you, like, the work is very, it's very sporadic. At one moment you're chilling, you've got nothing to do, you've got, quite literally all the time in the world to do absolutely nothing. And then 20 minutes later, you've got 20 assignments, 5 tests, and an exam due in 5 days. It's a little bit insane. And it all hits you at once. That's another thing. It's actually so crazy to even think about, because, like, as of right now, I'm chilling. I had an assignment open today. I haven't even thought about it. I'm probably only going to do it tomorrow, or even on Sunday when it's due. If the best way for me to describe it, because I feel like a majority of you are either in uni or still in high school as of right now, unless you're not, which congratulations, I guess. I'm still trying to find the bearings on whether or not making it through high school is a good thing or not, because that was very traumatic, but that's a conversation for another day. I think the best way for me to describe it is, it's like high school, but if you're like, for example, if you've experienced matric or like grade 11, I would describe it as end of matric every day. And like, I've spoken to a lot of my friends about this before, and like majority of them agree with me with that that statement, is that like, it literally feels like matric every single day, like the end of matric, to be more specific, every single day. You don't get a break. And when you do get a break, it feels like you're doing something wrong. I'm still not even used to, even now with me saying that I haven't done anything in a couple of weeks, that feels very wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not like high school where, during the holidays you sit in bed and you completely forget that you even have a school uniform. Right now, I know that I have 7 weeks of work waiting for me multiplied by 2, but I just don't care enough to try. I don't know if it's burnout. I don't know if it's procrastination. I don't know what it is. But truth be told, you really just don't care at some point in time. And that's currently where I'm sitting right now. But I promise you, this is not how it is every day. I mean, especially when you're studying something that you're interested in, you will 100% put more effort in. But yeah, some habits don't die that easily, If you procrastinated a lot in high school, then it's gonna be amplified, if anything, once you get to fast. I mean, you will do an assignment the day it's due, 5 hours before it's due. I promise you. You genuinely stop giving a damn. But that's my experience so far. I hope that changes though, because the moment things get serious, I really do not want to be looking back at myself like, oh, maybe we should have taken a little bit more time on the books. The second sub-chapter in this topic of academics is balancing lectures, tutorials, and assignments. And this kind of ties into what I was saying beforehand with you've got nothing to do, and then all of a sudden you've got a million things to do. I'm going to start with talking about lectures. I don't think going to lectures is all that necessary. Now, wait a minute now. Hear me out though. I think, from my perspective, so far, me going to campus is actually kind of useless. And I say that with the most conviction because I get to campus and I sit in this lecture room for 2 hours and I listen to a professional, I guess you could say, speak to me for 2 hours about work that they're reading off of a PowerPoint that I could have done at home. Are you with me now when I say it's kind of useless? It's a little bit counterintuitive. It's a little bit counterproductive. I don't really find it that necessary because if I'm just going to go to school twice a week for your one lecture, for your module, I don't see why I should be on campus when I could just read the slides. If I'm going to listen to somebody read to me the entire day, I promise you I'd literally turn on an audiobook. I find it quite useless. I find it quite tedious. It's also very boring. You really don't get the chance to ask questions because, again, if somebody's just reading to you, you don't even know when to pick up on your thought process. And the funny thing is that most lecturers encourage you to do your readings before you get to campus so that you can be prepared and ready. Me personally, even if I did the readings before, because I'm getting to campus and you're just reading to me, I don't feel confident in asking a question because you're just going to cite what is on the PowerPoint. And I don't think that's really necessary. That's going to help me in any way because then I could have just Googled. Like, I again, at home, I could have done it at home. I just, especially now in this day and age where a lot of people are using ChatGPT. Guys, this is a scary epidemic. Honestly, I would let me know. I would love to do a deep dive on my personal experiences, the things that I have seen. Let me know, honestly. Like, if you guys want to see another sit down like this or any other sit downs like this, you could give me topics if you want to hear me talk about them. But more specifically, a deep dive on ChatGPT and what I've experienced so far. Guys, when I tell you it's traumatizing in these streets you know what, I'm not even going to get into it. But yeah, it's a little bit funny when it comes to lectures. Now, am I saying that you shouldn't go to school? Absolutely not. You're paying a lot of money. Go to campus, even if... And a lot of lecturers are kind of stickler when it comes to attendance, which in itself is also actual bullshit because picture this, okay? If I don't come to my lecture and I miss the lecture and you mark on my attendance that I was absent, big deal, right? Big deal. You're calling me, sending me emails, asking me why I've missed 3 lectures. When the lecturer misses 3 lectures, nobody says anything. It's silence. I'm still not used to that. Like, you know, in high school it was different because if a teacher wasn't there, oh, here's your sub. Oh, guys, your teacher left work for you. It's on the board. You could wake up at 6 in the morning to get to campus by 8. You get to campus and then you look on the WhatsApp group at lovely 8 a.m. when your lesson is supposed to start. And your lecturer just sent out a message saying, oh, I'm not on campus today. I don't feel well. So you couldn't have told me the day before, or you just... Okay, that's literally what it feels like. It's frustrating, to say the least, especially for people that have to travel. Listen, I understand it is a privilege to travel and to be able to drive to school, but it doesn't negate the fact that it's still a lot. And for it to be a big deal when a student misses a lecture versus when a lecturer misses a lecture, I don't think they balance the way that we're supposedly saying that they're balancing. You know, like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense because you're on my ass when I'm not on campus and when I miss more than 3 attendances, and when you miss class, oh, whoops, we'll just do more tomorrow. Another thing that I think a lot of people will resonate with... Wait, no, that's not English. Another thing that somebody or people would resonate with me about... Guys, I'm sorry, it's very late and my English at this time... We all know through the last 2 videos how bad my stuttering gets. But anyway, we don't speak about that. So, one thing that I think people will resonate with me on... There we go. Is assignments are low-key becoming, how can I put this lightly, useless. I think assignments are actually, oh my goodness, I roll like Bodkesana. I am so tired of like I said, I literally have a quiz that opened today. And it's like, and the worst part about it is that they're worth, or at least for me, my assignments are split into two. So I have my exams, which are worth 50%, and then I have my assignments, which are worth 50%. And it's like, if you don't do well on your assignments, you have no choice but to get 100 on your exam in order for you to get that distinction, if that. So you have to put in the effort, but it's like, oh my goodness, I just don't want to, and don't get me started on the quiz. Them quizzes, I roll. Once again, I don't find it necessary. I understand why they're there, but to be honest with you, assignments are so boring, and some of them are fun, don't get me wrong, like I recently did my first writing assignment, individual work, because there is group work in uni, which by my expression you can tell I'm not very pleased about that, but I'm not going to talk about that today because I could sit here for 30 minutes talking about group work, I promise you. I did my first individual written assignment, and I got a pretty good. I honestly got more than I expected. I could have gotten a little bit higher, but I'll take it. I don't want to be like one of those kids that be like, ooh, I basically got 100, but like I could have gotten more. Like, no, like I'm not going to be like that. But yeah, it's like a learning curve, because now I know what I need to do to improve going forward. But it was really good. I liked it. It was one of those assignments that you really just got it done and moved on with your life. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, I'm like stressed, I have to. No, I think only the most tedious thing that I had to do was the sources. Like, oh my goodness. You must have a minimum of 5 sources in your essay, and it's like you need to incorporate 5 different people's opinions in your writing, and it's like I don't like this. Versus in high school, where you'd write a literature essay and all of the words that are on this page are coming straight from your brain, nowhere else. If anything, the most that you quoted was a quote from the book, so it's like it's just a little bit weird to write with like 15 other people's thought processes trying to back up your argument, but you get used to it. I think sorry, I'm switching my hands because my hands are getting cold, like holding my phone like this, so don't mind me when I periodically switch. But yes, that's assignments. To talk about the things that I wish I knew before starting, I wrote down 3 things here, and one of them being is time planning / time management. And I only say this to say like one main thing, and that is, honestly, you need to have a routine. You need to have a schedule for yourself. Otherwise, it's so easy. And I mean, this can apply to a high school student as well, to be completely honest with you. You need to have a routine. You need to have a schedule. You can't wing it, because things fly by so quickly. And if you're not paying attention, next thing you know, you're receiving an email telling you that you missed an assignment and now you have to do a deferred, or you have to, write the I don't know what else it's called. We call it deferred, which basically just means it's a second chance for you to write. But the unfortunate thing is, you can only achieve the minimum pass mark for that exam. So if that pass mark is 40% and you get 100, because you're writing the deferred, you're only going to get 40%, which is it's fair, because nobody told you to miss the exam. In other instances, it's a little bit harsh though. Like, if you went through something traumatic and you missed the exam, it wasn't your fault, but you're still gonna get 40, which can severely affect your marks. And that's honestly, I think before I leave the academics topic, that's another thing, is every mark truly does count, because things weigh so much more in uni. And that's something that I was not used to. Because, in high school, you have like 15 assignments that contribute 10% altogether. Whereas one assignment, like the one I just did, counts 40%. So if you flop the one assignment, yikes, Betty, you're going to have to try again in the exam, literally, because that's your only other option. So if your aim is to get distinctions time and time again, you literally quite need to plan how you're going to go about that. So if you did well in your assignments, then okay, cool, I can chill for the exam. But if you flopped on your assignments, good luck. Like, seriously, good luck. Because I've noticed that also when it comes to the marking, lecturers are very strict when it comes to the exams. The assignments, girl, you could get a 90 just for writing your name on the paper. That is a joke, but literally that's what it feels like. But with the exam, you could write an entire dissertation, an entire essay for an answer, and they'll only give you 2 marks because you didn't mention what they wanted you to mention. So do with that information what you will. I feel like it's quite self-explanatory. Prioritize your assignments and adequately study for your exams. But that's honestly what it feels like. It's kind of a situation where if you do badly in your assignments, you better start praying, because they care about those exams. One thing about it, they will mark that exam like their life depends on it. But that little assignment for your portfolio, just put your name on it and call it a day. The last 2 things that I wanted to mention is a sleep schedule. So I don't sleep anymore, which is very fun. Literally, you forget the concept of a sleep schedule, to be completely honest with you. Within your first couple of weeks, you're already pulling all-nighters because you're behind. Me, for example, I'm staring down the barrel of having to pull all-nighters for the next week because I need to catch up all the work that I haven't been doing. So, like I said, forget the concept of a sleep schedule. And one thing about it, I don't know, everybody's different, but for me personally, once you fall out of a sleep schedule, it is very difficult to pull yourself back into one. Like, it just takes that one night for you to sleep at 2 a.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. and the whole thing is completely dismantled. And that's literally what I missed my sleep schedule once in like Feb, and I haven't been the same since. That sounds so serious and so like, ooh, but like genuinely, once you miss it once, it's like, oh well, sayonara, sister, you're not gonna see me sleeping at a decent time or waking up at a decent time. But that also just might be me. I guess that may not fall onto the hands of other people, but I've been talking for 27 minutes and I'm not even done with the first category. That is crazy. Let's move it along, shall we? Next thing, and this one is gonna be a stickler one to talk about, but social life, right? And the first bullet point that I have is making friends. And I have a little piece here that I want to just say quickly, and then I'll explain as best as I can. So basically, I said, to be honest, I've already been in 2 separate friend groups, one of which doesn't exist anymore. But to be completely honest with you, I've given up on uni friends. It's very exhausting, especially when you remember that you're hanging around grown-ass people, grown-ass adults with cars, jobs, and responsibilities. Literally, not even joking. So I want to get into that. So this is actually so funny to speak about. But basically, the first friend group that you make or that you form in like the first couple of weeks, yeah, that one is just a trial. That's a 30-day trial. That's just for you to feel comfortable in your classes. Once your timetable gets finalized and you start going to classes like normal, expect that friend group to fall away. It literally means nothing. I mean, some people are still going strong with their first week, I guess, first month friend groups. But most of the time, the people that you were speaking to in the first couple of weeks, yeah, that's not gonna happen for you no more. And this really needs a strong soldier to carry, because I promise you, if you're coming from high school off of the back end of a friendship breakup, this might be your 13th reason. I don't know though. This might be your 13th reason, because it damn near was mine. I'll tell you that much. Child. So, I'm not gonna get into that. I think you can pick up what I'm putting down when I say that. But yeah, it really don't mean that much. Just do you, man. Like, the people that you desire will gravitate towards you. At least that's what I'm telling myself. They will gravitate towards you. They will find you, or you will find them. One thing that I'm trying to practice more and more is just being more outgoing, because I feel like I've been such a closed-off person for the longest time. And now that you're literally surrounded by so many different people with so many different perspectives, it is honestly a great time. Don't get me wrong. Making new friends in this generation is absolute bullshit. Like, no kidding. But doesn't mean you shouldn't make the effort, because at the end of the day, especially if you're someone like me, community is everything. And having people that support you and will stand behind you, will study with you, will talk about your favorite movie with you, that is so important. And no one will ever tell me that is any other way or weird or whatever the fuck y'all like to tell yourselves so y'all could sleep at night. You need a community, full stop. This whole thing of, hey, I'm good on my own, get that shit up. there's the door, leave. Like, that's not a place. That's not a place for me, baby. We value community over here, okay? Because honestly, sometimes I think I'm on a... This is turning into a whole different video topic, but I'll be brief. Honestly, I think now I'm on a journey of learning how to be alone so that I could learn how to be around other people. And when I tell you, this year has just been like booms after booms after booms of like the universe separating me. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Looking from the outside, you would actually ask yourself how the hell I'm still standing. Yeah, like I said, it's very exhausting to make friends, especially when a lot of people have this mindset of you owe me, and I just don't know where it comes from, but you're not going to get it from me. But that's another, again, if you want me to go more in depth with that topic, let me know. I definitely will. The whole topic of friendships in general, like as a whole, not just in uni. But yeah, I'm cool. And then like my last point, these are grown people that you're hanging around. How are you 22 and you can't respond to a text message? Alright, Lana Pezulu, or like, how are you 22? How are you 20 and you can't reply to a text message? How are you 19 years old dodging messages from somebody who very clearly has only the best interest at heart for you? And don't come to me with that bullshit of, oh, I don't owe you anything. Actually, you do. And if you think that you don't owe anyone anything, you're the scum of the earth. Anyways, let's move on. Our third topic is going to be mental health. And this one, I'm going to keep it very simple, very concise, and very short. For the reasons of the fact that, again, this is a topic that needs a lot more time. Mental health is different for everybody. For me personally, yeah, guys, uni will put you through the ringer. Hey, uni will put you through that ringer. I actually don't even know what to say. Like, when it comes to mental health in uni, I don't even think those two are in the same WhatsApp group, to be completely honest with you. You will struggle. You will be in pain. You will find something that will just throw you off balance. And it's very hard for some to get back on their feet again once that one thing throws you off balance. Because, again, 600 assignments on your left hand, I don't really think you're going to have time to think about how that person did you dirty yesterday. You like, a lot of things just get kind of swept under the rug. And then eventually when all that stress of school fades away, you like step on this rug again, and then something pokes you and you're like, oh my goodness, what's under this rug? And then you uncover the rug and it's like, it just all comes at you at once. My best advice is to just deal with it in the moment and then move on. Like, that's honestly my best advice for anybody in general. Like, if something is affecting you in this current moment, if somebody said something, if somebody did something, if you just aren't feeling like something in the moment, make it be known. Full stop. If somebody says something, immediately, what do you mean by that? Could you kindly elaborate your intention behind what you're saying? A TikTok personal fave? You think like this every day. Like, address it in the moment, because I promise you now, yes, your heart is going to sink and you're going to feel it in your chest when somebody says something. But if you don't address it in that moment, you're going to spiral. You're going to spiral. Up here, you're going to spiral. And then when you mix that in with the concoction of exams, stress, and no sleep, just order your casket. Like, literally start planning your funeral, because you aren't going to make it. So I guess my advice in this situation is, nip shit in the bud, man. The moment you peep something is off, immediately, right then and there, cut it out. And also, this kind of ties back into like the whole social circle friends type of category. You're not forced to be friends with people. It's not like high school where you're around this person 24/7 and you're in that group. It's final. Yes, you will be, maybe you're in the same classes, but it doesn't mean you have to sit next to them. There's 40 other people in this lecture room with you right now. You are not forced to sit next to them. And that is something that I'm like proactively trying to teach myself. You do not have to surround yourself with these people. I promise you, do people how they do you, your life is going to become so much better. When somebody says shit to you, about you, either clock them in the moment or remove yourself from the situation. But one thing you're not going to do is go and complain about it. You know what I mean? I mean, complain about it nonetheless. I do that. Lord knows I do that. But I mean, like, don't complain without a backup plan. Don't complain just to complain. Complain with a purpose. Talk it out and go straight to the problem. Don't talk it out and then ignore it, if that makes sense. Don't talk it out and ignore it. Talk it out and then say, okay, hey, so by the way, this is how I felt about this. This is A, B, C, D. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about it and then say, it is what it is, let's move on. Because every day that you see that person is going to eat you up, ooh, it's going to chew. It's going to chew. It's literally like, just take my advice. Deal with things in the moment. It's going to save you so much. And this is me speaking to my future self as well. It's going to save you so much because I promise you right now, it's not worth it. And mind you, these people are saying these things not knowing that you're affected by it. That's another thing. If you don't speak up, they're just going to keep doing it. And then every time that they keep doing it, you're going to keep getting hurt. And it's like, well, because you didn't speak up. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that's the most I could say for mental health. When it comes to burnout, I'm still not the best person to ask for this. You know, when it comes to burnout, I still bed rot and I still avoid my tasks. So maybe don't listen to me when it comes to that because I promise you, yeah, it's not that. But yeah, man, like just take care of yourself in general. Like, I think one thing that I will definitely forever keep with me, not even just in uni, but in life in general, is prioritize yourself. I say this a lot of times, but prioritize yourself. Put yourself before that friend, before that partner, before that assignment. Put yourself first. Because if you're not in the right state up here, you're never going to be in the right state anywhere else. Because this ultimately powers the rest of this. And if this is not working up here, guess what? The rest of this is not going to function either. So truly prioritize yourself, put yourself first, because if you don't, it really does cripple you. It really does put you in a situation where you don't even feel comfortable doing the things that you used to like anymore because you're just overwhelmed with everything that you can't even bed rotting feels like a chore. You feel like you're just, again, very touchy subject, something that really does need a lot more time to dissect. Not just a little segment on my little update, But yeah, man, take care of yourself first and foremost. And then if anything, it should be you, your schoolwork, and then everything else. Those two things should always be front and center. The moment you prioritize one thing above either or, that's where your rock falls. Your foundation is completely off. And that's all I will say on that. Last but not least, our last topic for today is going to be my lessons and reflections and what I've learned and what I'm what I'm figuring out still. I don't really have a lot to say for this section, to be completely honest with you. I mean, I've kind of mentioned already everything that I wanted to. The biggest lesson for me is prioritize yourself. Put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius. Put me first. Deadass. And then my schoolwork. Honestly, then me again, and then everyone else. Because nobody's going to be there for you like the way you're going to be there for you. Did you hear that? I don't think you heard that. Nobody's going to be there for you like you're going to be there for you. So you can fight and argue, kick and scream to that statement however you feel like it, but at the end of the day you're in a at the end of the day you're truly walking this earth alone with the privilege of being able to experience it with others. But at the end of the day, nobody else can know up here though as well as you can, and you really need to learn yourself more than other people can, because the moment somebody else can get a hold on how they view you more than you view yourself, that's when you're going to keep getting yourself into situations that continuously hurt you the way you don't want to be hurt, So that's my biggest lesson, to be completely honest. That, and maybe probably prioritize your schoolwork again. Maybe pick up that textbook once in a while. A couple times a week, perhaps. And this is for future me because, wow. And then on things that I'm still figuring out, to be completely honest with you, I'm kind of treating uni as a side hobby right now, so I really don't know what I'm still trying to figure out. I guess I would say myself. Like, uni is a very big learning curve, and I think a lot of things that people don't really speak about as often is how you're really put in a predicament between this is who you are and this is who you want to portray yourself as. And, you know, it's not that easy to try and mix the two. So I don't know if that made sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is, again, figure yourself out, because it's going to take a lot of personal work. I guess you could say uni is kind of like a personal work journey. It's learning yourself and then everything else. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to speak about. We're going on 45 minutes. That's a lot. That's pretty much everything I wanted to touch on, you know. That's it for me. Thank you for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.